Don't worry, you are correct. Good evening, chairman. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm very happy to stay here to share my presentation. My presentation with the topic is analytical studies, psychotherapeutic values of the Vietnamese TRÚC School. So my presentation is phrased with contents as follows. The first is introduction, research problem, literature review, objectivity, methodology, limitation, discussion, and finding, conclusion, and slide 1 by bibliography. So the Vietnamese TRÚC School is the most famous DHYANA school in Vietnam. This is DHYANA school founded by one king, which named the Emperor Trần Nhân Tông. And the mentor of this DHYANA school is the way to enlightenment may be cultivated, peaceful right in the worldly life. So in my presentation, I would like to focus the root cause of suffering and happiness. After that, the man's writing, primary writing is the father's writing. And after that, from the root cause of suffering and happiness, I would like to share the mental illness, the link to the illness, abnormal behavior, and I would like to show the method to cure them. So my research problem is to resolve the question. The question is, how are the psychotherapeutic values of the Vietnamese TRÚC school evaluated? Please, the time was please pass the paper. My objective is psychotherapeutic values in the Vietnamese TRÚC school. My methodology is collecting revelation information from TRÚC school writing. After that, I describe psychotherapeutic values based on analyzing and applying the data. Please pay your mind is my limitation because this paper is in two maths here. The first year is the roots of the mental illness in Vietnamese TRÚC school writing, and the second sphere is the psychotherapeutic value in the Vietnamese TRÚC school in my research. Now, I would like to go to the main part of my presentation, the discussion and finding this mental problem. So as we know, all human beings are basically mental. So that's why if varies mental illness and abnormal behavior come to a human being from the mental. That's why the founder in his writing, he said that the sources of the thirst and desire seek no reflections on the lovely point or purchase trade. Both grace and flame are the silent. So we can see that here there are four factors. The first factor is the thirst, the second factor is deceit, and the grace and flame in his writing is the roots of the cause. And in other words, the founder also says that joy will come when illusions are left behind. Attachment to illness, to illness and others cut down. There appear the true character of diamond, greed and hatred. Abandoned, then come the marvelous natural perfect enlightenment. So here we can see that the founder mentioned about the greed and hatred. This issue we can embrace in the Majjhima Nikaya. The Buddha also say that itamang cha abuso akusalamulang lepo akusalamulang doso akusalamulang moho akusalamulang. This is idam buddha abuso akusalamulang. That's why, according to the system of the Buddhist psychotherapy, the mental factor that cause mental illness are identified as mental defilement. On kind of mental illness, the abnormal behavior are very common to human beings and basic characteristics of the raga, dosa, moha, and lapa. Because these three positions, that's why all suffering arises. For reason, greed, hatred, delusion, from many mental illness can be arise. So in other words, the further also say that the first tremor pre-poison, then relieve the body, ignorance being afraid, temptation being purchased. According to the professor mentioned it, when the ignorance arises in our body, our minds, many mental illness or many abnormal behavior can be arise. And also when the temptation or the three poison arises in our body, our mind, after that, mental illness can be approached if we don't have method to protect our mind in the speech, action, and talk. And one word very important in the founder writing, he said that on kilesa vanished instantaneously. Here I want to focus the kilesa. Kilesa, this is a Sanskrit term, can be defined as tournament, pain, suffering, defilement. This is a general term of defilement. And in Abhidhamma Sakarika, Prathamang Sappama Pat, the Vasu bundles is framed with 6 sins. These are the great hatred, ignorance, arrogance, doubt, and false view. This is the most important with the least human being to suffering and stand on the pain from the mental illness and physical illness. So we can see the root cause of the mental illness I was mentioned above. Here I would like to go to the psychotherapeutic values in Vietnamese TRÚC school. The first value is mindfulness, basic cognitive therapy. The founder say that mind once awakened is not necessarily to seek any other way. Sustaining, illuminating, bring nature conducive to peace of mind. Joy will come when illusions are left behind. And in another word, the founder also say the 10,000 action calm and mind being as ease. So here, when our minds abide in the presence at the moment, we can we can live in the past, we can daydream in the future, just merely in the now and right now here. And many disorder and unwholesome thought come with me, come with us. From that, I can protect my body, my talk, and my speech, and I can abide in the listless talk. That's a method to reduce the mental illness. The further emphasis in his practical ways as well as therapy to cure mental illness for human beings, that it control your mind and keep it in the peaceful situation. Do not live in the past and also do not daydream about the future, merely here and right now. That means the nature of understanding or nature of awakening will be present in the patient's mind. This is a state which is the memory come back to present moment. So now I come to the another theory in the products, that is being no mind. Here, what is no mind? The no mind is not the emptiness of mind. The no mind here is not the have no mind. This is the which is the free from the attachment to talk, free from the self-consciousness. There are no any division into dually created by talk. Takes place with the no mind, meaning we see mind the tent and delusion. We can see in the Suddhamabundadika Sutra, the Buddha also say that from down and up, down, and countless, do not real or not real, do not born or born. That is, we have to stay away from two categories, that is realist and non-realist. We have to bind our minds in the situation where either interest in the unreality on thing, evaluating being and depend on something else and having no individual existence above from the other thing. And the no mind is when we have a when trace about it. we will go to the right path. That is the way to the limitation for the declusion, suffering, and grief. And another value is coaching loving kindness. That is when we have to embrace and spreading out the loving kindness to everybody. So now I would like to come to my conclusion. There are 3 points. The first point is original mind. That's why we have brings our mind from the past or the future, come back to present, and to keep our minds in our body, in our mind. That's why I have a bite. We have a bite in mindfulness. And the 3rd point is cultivating reset. That will protect my karma in wholesome. And the last one is the spreading out loving kindness. And thank you for your attention.